Well, thank you very much for attending the webinar. We're going to introduce ourselves first, but just still, this webinar is about how digitalize your B2B customers' energy and how digitalization can contribute to customers' loyalty and scaling of new value-added services. We'll go step by step from this specific quotation and how we can divide it into different challenges we're facing nowadays. As you can see here, this is going to be the agenda for today, but first of all, I want to introduce Laura. Laura, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, Danny. So I'm Laura Martinez. I'm the product manager of one of the products in Dexma, Dexma Detect, and I will try to give you a more technical point of view within this webinar.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura. Well, I'm Daniel Spanks. I am the International Account Executive for Dexma. And just to give you a little brief of the agenda, we're going to talk about the 2022 market trends that we're facing right now, and we're going to link this with the key challenges in the utility sector, right? And how, after the key challenges, we're going to talk on how Dexma can help with this identified challenge, right? And how can we tackle them in order to add more value to your customers and increase the customer loyalty. And for the end, we're going to leave some time for the Q&A. First, instead of jumping right away into the action, I want to introduce you our mission from Dexman, right? Dexman right now is on a mission to help people and organizations to understand and optimize their energy use, right? We not only want clients to save money, right? We not only want clients to help achieve their sustainability target, which is great, and not only to have a compliance with the laws from the European Union or from their own country, right? We want our future generations to have a fulfilling life, right, and take care of them, right? And in order to them to have a great life, we have to start taking action right now, right? We have a lot of things coming on, like the climate change, the recession, the inflation right now in the United States, and also the COVID-19 that hit back in 2020. So we have a lot of things to tackle. We believe the future of energy is digital, and we're building it one building at a time, step by step, client by client. Now, we're going to speak about Dexman at glance, right? What do we have worldwide? What partners do we work with right now? Which industries, business sectors we work in? Well, right now, Dexman is serving more than 6,000 organizations across the world, being the gross of it in Europe. We have more than 100,000 high-frequency data locations worldwide and more than 150 active partners, and this data is also growing right now. Now, what are the top main business sectors we work with? Real estate, retail, supermarkets, banking, hospitality, public administration, for example. We work with the Spanish government. But now, taking into a deeper look into utility partners, we work with Analysing, we work with Naturgy, Edison, Nadas in Denmark, EDP, and so on. Now, I'm going to switch into the 2022 market trends. Here's where we're going to talk about the trends and then move forward to the challenges we face right now. If you want to talk about this, Laura?
Yes, let's start with the trending topic of this year of the challenges. The energy prices. As you know, the electricity market is facing the highest prices in history. We can see here a couple of news that show it in the UK and in Europe. And if we take a look more in detail within the right picture, we can see from the graph that there has been a huge rise on the indexed electricity price that has reached 7, that has been multiplied per 7 in 2021. We can analyze a little bit why this is happening. So as you know, in 2020 we faced the whole world faced the COVID-19 crisis, and that has an impact on the reduction of the demand, and therefore the prices were lower than ever. But after that, let's say, decrease, came a rebound effect in 2021. So the demand has risen, and so did the electrical prices. Besides that, there has been a weaker than expected increase on the energy supply. And there are also other factors. For example, the gas prices that have seen the biggest increase in both European and Asian markets, for example. For example, in the US, these gas prices have tripled, let's say, the values of last year, of 2020. And besides the gas and the electrical context, also the coal prices are now 5 times higher than a year ago. So this is, as I was saying, a combination of higher gas and coal prices, the changes on the demand, and also the rising of European carbon prices. Everything has a result on higher electricity prices. And I think the consumers are the ones that have been affecting the most, have been more affected by that. Right, Danny?
That's correct, Laura. That's correct. This turns into a high churn rates in this industry, right? The high prices are pushing consumers to seek cheaper suppliers and be more proactive as ever to find the best offer, right? So it's important to increase customer loyalty in this industry mainly, right? Because we see a high rotation between companies, right? Just to give you an example, the situation in Spain, where we're based right now, the three main utilities here have lost over 1 million customers, right, towards new customers, right? Which means they are constantly changing between one company to another one, seeking the best offer, right? And one of the main challenges, which we will explain later, is the lack of value and transparency that these utility companies show towards the clients. Now, Laura is going to explain now the energy as service with some news that came out later this year.
Yes, the reduction of the, let's say, energy cost for the customer is not only related with the price per kilowatt hour, it's also related, let's say, to the offer of personalized services that the utilities are providing to their customers. So customers expect that the utilities help them with the energy transition and to promote them with new services to be more efficient, like electric vehicle, photovoltaic systems. So utilities might in the future and in the present be able or should be able to give more personalized services to their customers. Let's say that moving from a business of buying energy to a business of providing energy as a service. But for do that, I think we need, let's say, an economical support, and that could be the next challenge itself.
That's correct. That's correct. We are seeing a high increase in public funding in the late years, but mainly last year we saw that there's a public fund, the Next Generation EU, right, which they funded over 800 billion euros, right? So this help coming from the EU, right? It's a key weapon, we believe, for utility companies and also therefore to end customers to help this energy transition, right? They got to follow this trend into this year, into 2022. We got to highlight the main themes where they invest, right? Which is the Power Up, which is clean technologies and renewals. We have the Renovate ones, which is energy efficiency of buildings. Then we have Recharge and Refuel, right? Which is sustainable transport and charging stations. All of this Dexman tackles, right? So it's important that not only we have to take into account the sustainability goals and the fact of saving money, saving costs, right? So we can use that cost to other budgets, for example, marketing budget or the kind of budgets, right, to increase the revenue of the company, of course. But also we have to take into account the compliance with these government's laws, right? For example, in Philippines, there is a new law that they have to do, these private companies, they have to achieve 10% annually savings in energy, right? So we're starting to see an increase on public fundings from governments, from country governments, or for market governments, for example, the EU, right, to fund these industries. Now, as you can see here, we're going to talk about the energy efficiency, electrification, and RES. This is a graph where we see from now on where we are right now in 2022 and a vision towards the future, right? Energy efficiency is a theme that has been there for years, right? And has been taken really seriously because we care about the future and the next generations, right? But it's important also to take into account the electrification and the share of RES. Now, the total amount of energy consumed will be reduced through the use of additional energy efficiency measures, right? That's the key point, one of the key points of EMSs, right? To reduce the amount of energy consumed and the total cost of it. Now it comes that the share occupied by electricity in final and of course the end consumption will increase with the additional electrification. We gotta help the transition to the electrification of the clients, right? In this case, the utility. In this example, the utility companies, customers. And last but not least, we have to take into account that we have to move forward and start this transition from fuels and fossils energies towards the renewable energies, which we're seeing a huge amount of increase in the Nordics, for example. Now we're going to talk about the main challenges in the utility sector that we've seen in this past years, but mainly these are the main challenges we see and we think are going to face the utility sector in this year in 2022. Just take into account that these main challenges we have been inspired by the Harvard Data Science Review, which we put it together more organized and more insightful on how Dexman can help in this part. Now, we're going to talk about the key challenges as we see here. The first one will be decarbonization, which is important right now, which of course, the huge amount of CO2 we're emitting into the atmosphere. Decarbonization is a key challenge that we have to tackle right now, and electrification should be a key part in this. Now, digitalization, it's key to have all centralized, but at the same time decentralized, as you're going to see here. Because in order for you to add more value to your client, it's important to have it all digitalized, right? Have it all ready for the client, right? And also the fact that AI, artificial intelligence, allows to process thousands of times faster data in order to facilitate that to the client, right? Decentralization, of course, that's going to allow you to be more flexible with your solar panels, with your electric vehicles. That is taking a huge market trend this past year, and also the storage systems. Of course, the democratization, which we'll speak later, the free data hubs, and also it's going to help you to be more transparent towards your clients. Clients don't only want you to send you the monthly bill and say, hey, this is what you have to pay. Clients, that's one of the reasons why there's a high churn and high rotation in this market, right? You have to make your client loyal to you. How do you do that? Well, you have to be transparent. Then, therefore, we have the demand increase. Of course, this start of the year of 2022 has been kind of messy somehow, of course, with the plummet of the stock exchanges, and also, of course, with a high amount of energy rates, energy prices. For example, in Greece, it has grown 475%. In Spain, it has grown over 300% in the past half year. And then we have lastly the disruption, right? How the new technologies, the new Internet of the Things, the new 5G, the new artificial intelligence, all the new technologies that are coming up in this market, in this world, how we can apply this into making your clients more loyal and therefore retaining those clients and prevent them from moving towards your competition. So now we're going to go to the main challenge, and I will let Laura to explain it to you.
Yes, so let's start with the disruption, which for us is like the global challenge, and how Dexma can help you, the utilities, with that. So we have in Dexma what we called the energy intelligence journey. We consider it disruptive, and I will show you why. First, we start with Detect, which is the tool that helps you to digitalize your customers and your own services. To do so, we detect, let's say, opportunities of energy efficiency savings, and also allow you to sell these energy efficiency services. once we have identified those potential, we can track it with Dexmo Analyze, which is the tool that helps you to check and to validate if those savings are being achieved. And finally, we have Dexmo Optimise, which is the tool that helps within the automation, let's say, of the performance of your customers to deliver, let's say, a 24/7 service of anomaly detection. This whole framework is thought to provide you within tools that help you to increase your energy services revenue. Talking about disruption, Danny was mentioning AI, and we have some of that in Dexma, and I want to show you how. So starting with Detect, we perform energetics simulations and AI models to detect these customers' hidden potential. We only use monthly energy consumption or bill data to do that. Regarding Analyze, the real-time analytics tool, what we provide, let's say, as a disruptive options are the automatic baselines calculation. This is something that typically has been done using Excel and manually, but now we do that totally on an automatic way, thanks to the AI. And also we help you within energy forecast, which is also important. To do so, we need smart meter data, submetering, any data helps. Regarding Optimise, what we do in Optimise is to provide these automated energy services using and training our AI models based on the customer's historical consumption and some weather and holidays data to identify this anomaly and these anomalies. And to do so, we use, similar to Analyze, smart meter, submetering, control, BMS data. So once we have the disruption, let's say, what can we do to help you within the next challenge, the decarbonization? We were talking about that before. Let's say it can be translated first into the electrification of your customers. So in Dexma, we have a way to do that. We can prove and check how this will impact the customer. Let's say testing how, if the customers install an electrified solution, for example, solar panels, electric mobility, replacement of old gas equipment, aerothermal energy, etc. We can help you to prove to your customers that they can save energy and, let's say, be less decarbonized. If we go for the next slide, it's also important to promote energy efficiency. So we want to help your customers and to do so to, let's say, be more efficient with different ways. For example, engaging them with benchmarking, load disaggregation, with some energy efficiency recommendations, like I was mentioning before, solar panels, electric mobility. Also letting them know how they are behaving, if they are doing right, or if there's still place for improvement. At the end is to do that on a massive way to help them to have less greenhouse gas emissions at the end. And last point is important to know where you can start. So with Detect, we can identify those customers that should be the first ones in the equation, let's say, and that have the hugest potential to reduce their consumption and therefore the emissions that they are creating. So once we have done, let's say, this electrification process and helping them, it's important to monitor that and to track it. So within our tool Dexmo Analyze, we help you to monitor these greenhouse gas emissions of your customers. You can assign your own conversion factors and help them to achieve the carbon neutrality that they are looking for, and that, as you know, on the global normative is a must. This about the decarbonization, but next challenge, and is some of the, let's say, the most famous ones, is the digitalization that we are talking all the time in Dexma. So digitalized processes for utilities has become something critical. As you know, go into the cloud, taking advantage of all the data of the customers, and we can help you with that. We have a software as a service platform. First, from getting your data from your data lakes, we can, let's say, send outputs from our platform to your CRM, so you can do personalized campaigns or to use that outputs within your customers. And also we can insert that data from your customers thanks to the integrations that we have done with several types of devices that we will show afterwards. Once we have this data on the platform, it's important to give a digital value to it. So first is Dexma, with Dexma Detect, we can do so on a massive and digitalized way within this report that we are seeing here. So the idea is to bring closer to your customers the energy efficiency possibilities that they might have, so they are engaged on a digitalized way. As I was mentioning before, with several KPIs that we can show them, benchmarking, the potential energy savings that they might have by installing energy services, load disaggregation, etc. Also, we can help you to digitalize, let's say, your sales processes. So we can act as a pre-sales enabler to help you to perform these targeted campaigns. For example, to sell these energy services to reduce the churn. We have here an example of an email that has been used by some of our customers to do this kind of campaigns. We can connect, as I was saying before, the outputs to your CRMs, and we can do it on a one-shot use case or on a recurrent way to sell more services. This is something we can help you with. And finally, we have probably the most difficult challenge, which is to keep your users engaged with this, let's say, on a digital way, and help you to digitalize your own processes. So this, as I was saying, this report strategy of selling through a digital channel to enable your sales force to sell services in a different way is how we can help you to promote the energy services on a massive way. At the same time, keep them engaged means that this churn will be reduced. But besides keeping, let's say, digitalized, it's important for the customers also to save, no? Because the demand has increased, right? Has increased, right, Danny?
Yeah, that's correct. So this leads us to the next challenge, right? As Laura already mentioned. Now, how Dexman can help utilities with demand increase? Well, I'm gonna answer these questions with the different products we have at Dexman, right? Let's start with Dexmon Up Analyze. Now, we are gonna have, of course, to show our customers all the data that we gather in real time. How do we do that? Well, we do that by using our utility meters, our submeters, our different gateways, and everything, right? So you can add as many sensors as you want in order to have a deeper understanding and deeper analysis of the consumption of your client. Now, you're going to be able also to calculate your customers' baselines automatically, right? You don't need any configuration, you don't need any coding, nothing. You already got it all settled here. You just need to fill in some spots, some boxes, and you got it all already calculated, right? It's important to calculate the baseline in order to help them to see where they are in comparison with the baseline. Now, lastly, we have the alerts and the reports, right? We got them all, as you can see over here. It's important not only to give your clients as many insights, as many data as possible, right? I mean, not as many data as possible, but useful and intelligent data that they can use, right? But it's important also to let them feel calm, right? When it comes to any kind of overconsumption to your clients, for example, right? So we're gonna have alerts. In case there is an overconsumption of some problems, your clients are gonna be 24/7 alerted, right? We're gonna send a pop-up email, pop-up banner through our software, and you're gonna see it, right? And you can go towards your customers and say, hey, John, no problems. We are aware of this problem, right? Make your clients feel that you saw the problem first, right? Do not let them see the problem first, because that's going to create a little bit of inside fight, let's say that way. Now we move into Dexmon Optimise, right? This is going to help our alerts from Dexmon Analyze to transition into our next product, which is Dexmon Optimise. Dexmon Optimise is our AI, artificial intelligence anomaly detection, right? So you can scale your services by using AI powers, right? Of course, human can process a lot amount of data, but do not compare with artificial intelligence, which can process up to thousands of times faster than humans. This is going to help you also to keep your OPEX low for every new consumer that you might have. And also you're going to help, which is the most important thing about this part, you're going to make your customers feel loved, right? Why? Because you're going to make them believe that you are taking care of them like a personal account manager 24/7, every day from Monday to Sunday. You're going to see every consumption they have. You're going to see every problem or alert they're going to have. So if there is an alert or anomaly that our AI is going to detect, you're going to go to John and say, hey, John, you have a problem or an overconsumption that went from 12 in the morning until 7, right? The last 7 hours, the total consumption was like 3,000, and it has an impact cost of 452.7 euros. Your client is going to say, like, well, I mean, these people are taking care of me, and these people are really like care of my consumption. They're going to feel unique, right? Which is the important thing about this, to decrease your high churn. Now, challenge number 5, how Dexmon can help utilities with decentralization. Laura, can you please help me with this?
Yes, so decentralization can be promoted, let's say, by giving a new role to the customer, a more centric one, let's say, to play a main role on the electrical market. And this is something we can help you with. So we can, with Dexmon Detect, to promote the installation of clean energy. So the customer becomes, let's say, a prosumer, and they can generate their own energy. We have here an example of how deeply we can go in the details of a solar panel installation. For example, we can be able to prospect and to help you within calculation data, showing you the surface, the number of panels that customer will require, also some financial details like the energy self-consumed, sell to the grid, etc. And also we can help you with electric vehicle or electric mobility also promotion. And by this, we are trying, let's say, to foster, let's say, this new role of the customer. Once we have done this installation, it's important to show to the customer how this investment is making an impact on their bill. So, for example, we have here the tracking of a solar PV installation, and within our software, within Dexmo Analyze, they can check how the balance has been between production and consumption, also how much of that energy has been stored, and also we can show some specific KPIs like the performance ratio, creating dashboards, and so on. So the idea is that the customer takes control of their own generation systems. It's also important, last but not least, the democratization of the system. So this is the last challenge we will cover today. It's important nowadays to be transparent and to give the customer as much options as he or she can get. So with that, in Dexmo Detect, we can help you. So we try to help you to create or co-create together the best solutions for your customers to sell those energy efficiency services. We help you also with to promote your brand and to cover your IT needs, for example, with the single sign-on. This is something that we help you with, the customization, but talking about democratization, probably is also about the access to the data from the customers, no? Right, Danny?
Yeah, that's correct. Sorry for switching, by the way, from one PowerPoint to another one. It's just the sensibility of my mouse is quite high. Well, thank you very much, Laura. Well, now I'm going to talk about, as Laura says, how to get data from the energy data hubs, of course, right? So this is going to allow you to connect your utility meter and start receiving as much amount of data as you can, right? So, and these all have to take into account that this is important. It's hardware free, right? Which allows us to jump to the next point, which is we have more than 500 native integrations, right? From, of course, more than 50 native integrations vendors, and we're growing month by time. Important to check that we have like the energy data hubs such as Dectalise, for example, which is Spanish. We can gather any data as we want from our own homes. And of course, you're not gonna data, as I mentioned before, no programming, no coding, nothing at all. You just need to configure it, right? Just pick up your hardware box, the one you're gonna use it on the list, of course, and then just add a few details that we're gonna ask you, and immediately you're gonna start receiving data in real time. Now, Dexmon Platform. This is how the platform looks like, right? It looks like easy friendly, pretty well organized, colorful. It has to be like easy to use, right? So we crave a lot for ease of usage at Dexmon, and we want to facilitate the utilization, of course, the customers, the use of the platform. Now, we call it join the dashboards and widgets area, right? It's important to, when it comes to making your customer loyal, the customer doesn't want to be sent huge amounts of reports, data, and everything. No, they want what's important for them. What's going to cost me? Why it's cost this way, right? So you're going to be able to send them either dashboards, reports, as Laura already showed you before, in a beautiful way, in a simple way, but impactful, right? It's going to be jump just straight to the point. Then you're also going to be able to create your own digital signage, right? So you're going to be able to simulate your installation features in the Dexmon platform with text and numerical KPIs. But this is just for the utility, not for the consumer. But this is going to help you to gather more insights on what's the consumer spending money in when it comes to energy, what times are the best, what ranges, and everything. So you're going to understand more and more your customer. Now, lastly, Dexmon Optimise, as I mentioned before, it is the artificial intelligence anomaly detection product. You're going to have here, as you can see, there's an anomaly being detected, right? And Karen, which is the energy manager, is going to help Evan, or where it's going to help John that has a problem in the house, right? So it's important here that the utility company sees the problem before the customer. Well, it doesn't happen. It doesn't matter, or if there is no problem if the customer sees it first, right? But if the utility company finds the problem first and goes directly to the customer, it's going to say, as I said before, like, look, I'm taken care of. They care for me, and they're going to feel valued. They're going to feel like, or I'm part of this utility company, right? They care for me, right? So they're not going to think of, they never tell me something. They always just send me the invoice for me to pay. That's all. So let them feel that you care for them, right? You gotta be transparent, send them the data they require. And of course, gotta say that this is 24/7, right? You're gonna make them feel that you are 24/7 taking care of them and already like observing their consumption, so you can help them to decrease that consumption, right? So you increase their loyalty towards your brand. Now, altogether, we put Dexmon Platform as the leader AI platform for smart buildings in 2022 and onwards, right? We hope that you really enjoy this presentation, the challenges and everything. And we believe, we really state that we are the ideal and the leader company for this kind of buildings, right? In order for you to help you to this transition to sustainability, achieving the sustainability goals, also the achieving your customer loyalty and decrease this high churn that you have right now. Last but not least, I want to introduce you to the Bernatics, this quadrant that they designed. This has been the benchmark that they have been doing during the past couple of years. Really insightful and deep analysis of a market research of the main IoT platform for smart buildings. This is how it looks now from 2022. As you can see here, Spacewell, our mother company, that's where Dexmon belongs. And Dexmon represents 70% of the activity right now that is taking place at Spacewell, right? So we're helping the company to grow into that part of leaders and innovators, specialists into that part. So we're really proud of that. And we're proud to say that this is just starting. And we're welcoming utility companies to go hand in hand with them and grow alongside them and help them towards their sustainability goals and also towards their customer loyalty targets. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for attending the presentation. I think we run out of time, but yeah, I mean, you have here our emails. This is for myself, Donald Spence, and if you have any more technical questions about the software, the product, and everything, you can reach out Laura Martinez. Thank you very much, Laura. You want to say something else?
Yeah, thank you, Danny, and thank you everyone for joining. I hope you really enjoyed this session. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. There you have my email. If for any single question, just reach me out and I'll be more than pleased to help you. Have a good day.
Thank you.